simple tool that you can use to mock an API. When you are doing a project, and especially when you're working with different people, APIs can become a big dependency, and this tool can help you to easily an API that other developers can use, even as you work on the actual API. So this tool is called JSON Server, and for this tool, the first prerequisite is that you need to have Node.js installed on your machine. If you don't know about how to install Node.js, you can go to this site, nodejs.org, and you can download the suitable version of Node suitable for your machine. So in my machine, I already have Node installed. So if I open my command prompt and I say node -v, this should show me the version of Node that I'm running, as you can see there. Now, the other thing that you need to have is npm, which comes installed with Node, and npm is a Node package manager. For those who are coming from a Java background, this is akin to Maven. It is a tool that you use to manage your application dependencies. So for us to install this JSON server that is going to help us to create a mock API, we go to this site, npm.js, so that we can see the page for JSON server. As you can see, it tells me that you get a full fake REST API with zero coding in less than 30 seconds, and really it's possible, and we will see how to do that. So the first thing we need to do is to install, and the way you install is npm install. It's installed globally, and it's called JSON Server. So once we run that command, our install process should begin to download the packages that are required to get JSON Server working. So let us see it completing, and there we go. Our JSON server is successfully installed. Now the other thing that you're going to need is a JSON file, and I have already created one. Here's my JSON file. So let me just open another command prompt so that I can open this JSON file. So I'm going to open using my favorite text editor, and the file is called clients and orders. Clients and orders.json. That's what I've called it. So that should open my Visual Studio Code editor. Now, as you can see, what we have here is data about clients, and it's a JSON file. So you can see that we have clients, an array of client objects here, and you can see each client has an ID, the name, and the address, and we have a list of clients. Then down here we have a list of orders, where these orders are associated with the clients. So the way we are linking them to clients is using this client ID here. So like this first order is for client ID number 3, this other order is for client ID number 1, and this one is for client ID number 5. And then down here we have order lines, which are really the breakdown of the order, and so each order line is associated with an order ID, as you can see in this column here. So this file will then allow us to have our API where we can view the clients, we can view orders, and we can access the order lines. So how you do this is you go back to, so to open the JSON server, it's very simple. You just say JSON server, and then what you need to tell the JSON server is which file that it needs to watch, or which file it's going to use to create the API. So you say watch, and our file is in G API clients and orders.json. The other argument you need to pass is the port where it should run. Now you should make sure that the port that you specify is not being used by something else on your machine, otherwise the JSON server will not be able to work. So for me, I could specify, say, port 8500 for argument's sake, and that's it. And as you can see, JSON server has created for us some endpoints here. So it's running on port 3000. Sorry, I have made a mistake. So let's see what happened. Sorry, I missed. Let us just stop it. My command was wrong. So here I should have said port. As you can see, it's running on port 8500 now. So we have our three endpoints. So localhost 8500, clients, orders, and order lines. Now let's see whether our API actually works. So I can open localhost on port 8500, and then we check for orders, and there is our orders API. So if we wanted to get order number 2, we can just specify the ID and we'll get order number 2. Then we also have the API for clients. So we could say clients, and you can see our clients here listed. Again, we can specify maybe client ID number 3 is the one we want. We can also go to order lines, and you can see our order lines. We can specify we want order line number 4, or we can specify that we want order lines for order ID 3. So here you would do something like this, and there we get our order lines. So this can be very effective when you want to manage dependencies in a project where the developer expects to have an API before they continue developing, and you can create this mock API even as the backend developer is working on the actual API. Of course, there are certain things you need to consider even as you use the mock API. You know, the actual API will have other complexities such as authentication and authorization, and probably security, transport security. So you need to manage things like certificates, but this is a good start, and you can use it to implement your mock API and ensure that your project is not delaying because of an API dependency. Thank you.